Hello and welcome to the show. Now, if investing in property tickles your fancy, why not nip along to your local property auction and check out the market?
Yes, and doing your homework and brushing up on your local knowledge is a must.
Yeah, do that, and then you could end up buying your next home under the hammer.
It goes without saying that everybody is looking for value for money, and property auctions can offer just that.
Yes, but don't take that for granted, Martel, because some people can get carried away.
So, did that happen to any of today's buyers? Hopefully not. Let's find out.
It's plastic fantastic for Tommy in Rugeley.
Well, it looks like timber cladding, but it's not actually. No, it's plastic.
A cottage in Cudham brings out my softer side.
But it's one of those houses you just almost want to take on and cuddle better.
And there are some unwanted guests in a flat in Harlesden.
You've got a bedroom there, signs of damp, and lots of snail trail. What's that about?
All of these properties have been sold at auction, and we'll find out who bought them and what they paid for them when they went under the hammer.
You bought it, well done.
We're in Brereton, a civil parish and village which is part of the town of Rugeley in Staffordshire. It lies on the northeastern edge of Cannock Chase, an area of outstanding natural beauty.
I'm just a stone's throw from Rugeley town centre, and I'm in this quaint little terrace street to look at a house that's 3-bedroom, mid-terrace, with a guide price of £44,000 to £49,000. This is it. Well, I didn't expect that. All this timber cladding. Well, it looks like timber cladding, but it's not actually. No, it's plastic. Well, that certainly puts a different spin on this. We have to come back and have a closer look at that. I can see this is going to be an interesting one, this one. There's a mixture of styles. You've got this nice fancy cornice up there, but it's polystyrene like the ceiling. So it's a fire hazard, that's all got to come down. Everything needs to be stripped back in here. And this is an unsuitable door, ledged and braced door. It's not really the right type of door, style-wise, for this terraced house. That's more for a country cottage style. Well, certainly these people were fans of timber, because there's lots of timber cladding. I don't know what this is. Looks like something out of, I don't know, Fred Flintstone. But again, we've got loads more cladding, so all that has to be stripped off to find out whether there are any problems behind it. That fireplace there, there's a brick facade to it, that all needs to come out. Yeah, but the rooms are, this is a very decent sized room. So we go into the space out here. Actually, that's a very nice and quite a stylish bathroom, well, shower room. And then you've got a galley kitchen, a small galley kitchen, but well designed, it could work. And this is a utility lean-to, washing machine and tumble dryer in here, and of course, the obligatory lots and lots of pine cladding. Do you know what? This looks more like a Swedish sauna than it does a kitchen.
Not a bad start to this house. It's just, shall we say, a bit quirky. I wonder if the same can be said for the upstairs.
Right, so staircase going up the middle of the house. And we have a decent-sized single bedroom there. We've got a bathroom here. Well, a bathroom, we've got a shower room. And this is obviously the master bedroom. A big bay window, lots of light. That's the one thing about this room. Yeah, we've still got to find a third bedroom. So I've got a feeling, oh, that should be safety glass, so that's illegal, that'll have to go. Got a doorway here. I've got an idea that the third bedroom might be behind this. Oh, yeah, quite a narrow, steep staircase, but I'll give it my best shot. Well, this is a bit of a tight squeeze for a big bloke like me. But this would make the third bedroom. But there's lots of things to do safety-wise. Look at that. That's the first time I've seen that. There's a kitchen in the roof space there. So the kitchen, that'll all have to come out. Right, well, this will all have to be stripped right back and redone. And with the safety measures, there would have to be, all the common area would have to be double tacked in plasterboard to give it the fire protection, and a minimum half-hour fire check door on the staircase, on the landing. Yeah, and of course, the kitchen, that has to go.
It's safe to say this property needs a lot of work. It comes with a small rear yard and access to a shared communal garden that's well maintained. So that's one less job for any future buyer. We've asked along a property expert from the auction house who sold it to get his thoughts on this 3-bed mid-terrace.
I think it needs a pretty major overhaul, possibly a rewire, certainly new heating, redecorated throughout, possibly a new kitchen, new bathroom. So, yeah, a real big project.
And once the property's updated, what could the potential returns be?
When the property is refurbished, I would envisage a rental value of approximately £650 to £700 per calendar month. I would expect to achieve £125,000 to £135,000 in the current market.
Now, this property, inside, it'll have to be stripped right the way back to the brickwork and everything renewed. This cladding, this has got to come off. And this has got to be returned to its former glory as a nice brickwork facade to this terrace the way it should be. Who fancied it when it went under the hammer?
This lot was part of a remote auction with bids taking place online.
1, 2, 3, and gone.
The successful bid of £85,000 was made by Jack and his 2 business partners, Matt and Jim. They own a property developing company, so have plenty of experience, but this is their first auction buy. Let's find out what they have planned for it.
Right, Jack, first of all, can I say congratulations on your acquisition?
Thank you.
I hope it's going to be great news.
Yeah, it should be.
A great project. Now, it was between 44 and 49,000. That was the guide.
Yes.
And you paid 85 for it, was it?
85, yeah.
Were you happy with the price you paid?
Yeah, we were pretty happy with that, to be fair. With our plans with it, that was about what we were looking for, so yeah, we were happy with that.
Did you read the legal pack and look at the property before you bought it?
I didn't personally, but I believe the person that did the bidding had a look at all of that prior to putting the bid in, yeah.
So who are the other people involved in the
So
purchase?
Matt and Jim, so there's 3 of us, and we do normally larger scale developments, 650 grand upwards. So we're doing a farm at the minute, but we had a little bit left over, so we thought we'd have a little tickle at a HMO and see if it works out for us.
So HMO, a house of multiple occupation?
Yes.
So how many rooms do you want to provide for tenants?
We're going to stick with the 3 that are in here now. So yeah, the middle 2 rooms on the first floor will share the bathroom at the back, but the top floor will have its own ensuite. We're going to turn that kitchen thing into an ensuite at the back.
Oh, interesting. Well, you've got enough space up in that loft to adjust where you position the wall to give you the, you know, the ensuite.
Yeah, definitely. That's the plan. So they'll have their own ensuite. Middle 2 will share one. We was going to get a 4th down here, but we're going to leave that as a living room for now.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
What do you think of the property now that you've been round it?
Yeah, I think it's OK, to be fair. You never know, do you, when you step in for the first time, but having a look around, I came to look a couple of weeks ago and I was happy with it. Structurally, it seemed sound. A bit of cladding to strip off, but yeah. I think...
I think the person who occupied this was a big fan of cladding.
I would say so. You worked in a wood factory.
Oh, no. Yeah, but even the front cladding on the front elevation, but that's plastic.
Yeah.
So it's plastic made to look like wood.
I know.
You know, and all that lovely brickwork that's there.
It's all hidden.
It's all hidden, that all needs... You're going to take all that cladding off.
Yeah, that's the plan, take it all off. It's on the back of the house, take it all off and show what's underneath it. Hopefully it's all OK.
So take me through how you see it from the house, the jobs that you're going to do from the very top?
Strip all the cladding off will be the very first thing and see what we're dealing with. All the carpets up, get everything back to basics. We're looking at repositioning the boiler as well, because it's in a bedroom at the minute. So we want to get that out into the utility, which is the current kitchen, and use this space that we're in now as the new kitchen. So we'll make a bit of a communal space where the tenants that are in here can have a bit of a space to hang out together if they want to, or go back to the rooms for their private space. We just want it a nice, crisp, clean place to live in.
OK, and have you got to apply for planning permission?
No, because it's less than 5 rooms. We don't need a licence or anything, so we can carry on as planned.
Oh, good.
And we'll contact the local council to make sure 100%, but from what we can see online, we should be OK.
It sounds like this property developing trio have their plans well figured out. They have a budget of £20,000 to £25,000, and as long as they don't run into any surprises, they're going to have the project finished within 3 months.
Is your role here going to be day-to-day management, or are you actually getting stuck into the work?
I will get stuck in. I like to get my hands dirty.
What, the stripping out?
Stripping out, yeah, definitely stripping out. I've taught myself a few things over the years. When traders have let us down, I've just thought, right, I'll have to just have a go and get at it because we need to get it on the market. And it's helped because now I know what I'm looking for and I know what's involved. So if I get a quote, I know that it's worth the value because of how hard it actually is to do. And
this will be your sort of trial run for one of this sort of size?
That's it, yeah. We have brought another one which is going through now in a similar area. It's actually just down the road. So if this one goes well, we'll do that one into a HMO as well, and hopefully we'll keep rolling out this area.
And build up a portfolio.
A bit of a portfolio around here. All of our others we do and we sell. We don't hold on to them. So this will be our first kind of building up a portfolio and keeping them under our names. Just trying to make ourselves, obviously, time-free, like give ourselves a nice lifestyle be around the children. We've all got kids that we want to be with, so property for us was the way. We've come out of previous industries and gone more full-time into property in the last few years.
To secure your future?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's good. That's the right policy. Yeah. Yeah, all I can say now is well done and good luck. And I'm sure you don't really need the luck because you've been here before.
Fingers crossed, yeah. Thank you.
Well, Jack and his partners, Matt and Jim, have got their hands full with this one, make no mistake. But there's nothing that they're unduly worried about, because they're well experienced. But I still think it's quite a major task. And will they be able to bring it in on budget? And will they be able to bring it in on time? That's the question. And you can find out later in the show.
And now to Cudham, which sits within the London borough of Bromley. Just up the road from Cudham is Down House, home until his death in 1882 of the scientist Charles Darwin. I wonder how this next property will evolve.
Well, I'm in the lovely semi-rural village of Cudham, about 20 minutes drive outside Sevenoaks, here to see a 2-bed end-terrace cottage. It sounds lovely, and actually, at first glimpse, looks pretty good. £225,000 to £245,000 is the guide price. Let's ponder further. So, no parking with this property, which is definitely a bit of a negative to start off with. And the cottage itself, well, the moment you walk through the door, straight away, you see it's definitely in need of a bit of tender loving care. Lots of things like the fireplace, which date it. Yeah, carpets and things like that. It's a total refurb job, this one. But in terms of space, nice, through the front door into that little front sitting room. Stairs in the middle, which divide the front and the rear of the property. One thing which you could consider perhaps is moving the staircase to create more of an open plan feel. It will require a bit of work, possibly even taking out this chimney breast, which is not going to be an easy job, but something definitely which I would consider. Lots of signs of... what's that? Lots of signs of some nasty stuff going on. That is, dry rot. Not good. I wonder how far that's spread. Also looks like no central heating, judging by the storage radiators there. And then through into a bit which I imagine is an extension. This is your kitchen. As you can see, it is not in a very good state at all. And possibly worse, at the back there is the only bathroom and toilet in the property. So a few negatives. But it's one of those houses you just almost want to take on and cuddle better. I think it would be worth it.
Now, I know what you're thinking. This place doesn't make you feel like cuddling it. But imagine a log burner, hardwood floors, with a few rugs scattered, a cat snuggled into the sofa, central heating, fitted kitchen, a lovely new bathroom suite, and there you go. Cuddly now, hey?
If you haven't guessed it already, that storage radiator there in that very strange position at the top of the stairs confirms no central heating, so that's definitely something you'd want to sort out. But you're going to have to do a complete refurb on this property anyway, so things like a full central heating, rewire, probably sort the roof out. It's all going to be part and parcel of the renovation process. But one thing you must do when you're doing that renovation is keep some of these original features, like the doors. Get those dip stripped, absolutely amazing. I'm sure the floorboards would also be in a good condition if you pull up the carpet. There's some lovely fireplaces. But then in terms of actually the layout, could you potentially get a bathroom, even if it was a small one up here, maybe an ensuite, playing around, possibly? Definitely something to think about. But one thing you don't need to change is the views out the window, because they are lovely.
A room with a view.
And the view from the back bedroom is even lovelier on this crisp winter's day. I'm still thinking about what you could do with the layout. Rotate the staircase 90 degrees so it would emerge into this corner, create a corridor, keep 2 bedrooms and add an ensuite. Getting rid of this chimney would be a big job, but gaining those extra few inches could make all the difference. Time to head out into the snow.
So out of the back door, and here you can see that kitchen built into this little extension. Now, I'm looking here and thinking, is there more extension which you could build? Certainly within permitted development, you might be able to do something, but actually, if you wanted to go for full planning permission, looking just down this row of cottages, other people have done much bigger extensions, so I think there's a great possibility to build something a lot more substantial there and give you that all-important extra space. But that would be still fine because the garden is big enough to take it. Look at this. Extremely pretty with this light layer of snow on it, I have to say. But it goes all the way back there. You've got open fields on the other side. You know, it's a really, really, really lovely spot. And, yeah, great garden, great house, actually.
But what will a local estate agent think of this cottage, guided at £225,000 to £245,000?
It's always lovely to see a period home with fireplaces and doors and all sorts of other features intact. The condition does leave a little bit to be desired, but I think once some attention's paid to it, I think it will make a fantastic home.
And does she agree that enlarging the extension could be a good plan for this cottage?
You could certainly extend the kitchen out because it's in the right position relative to the garden. Obviously, just keeping a keen eye on the costs.
If kept at its current size, how much could it be worth once renovated?
I think that once this property is renovated, it could fetch between £325,000 and £350,000.
And if extended?
I think the reference point would then be more towards the £400,000 level, but it would then very much depend on the quality of the actual renovation and the specification of the finishes.
Well, a charming cottage in a lovely location. Just needs some internal work and possibly an extension. Whatever. I'm sure it was a popular lot when it went under the hammer.
End-terrace house for refurbishment. It's freehold vacant possession. Can I see 225 to start me? 225 to start me. Bottom end of the guide price. Give me £200,000 then. Start me at 200. 200, I'm obliged. Didn't see you there.
In a busy auction room, there was bound to be interest in this cottage, and we rejoined the bidding at £240,000.
With you at 240. 242 if you wish. 242, do I see? 242, 244, 244 at the back, 246. At 244,000 I've got, 246 I'm looking for, 224,000 for the first time, 224 for the second time, 244, absolutely. £244,000 in the back row for the third and final time. All done. We've just bought it, 244,000.
Making that successful bid of 244,000 were mum Gemma and daughter Cassie. What were their plans for the cottage? I met them for a chat to find out.
Cassie, Gemma, great to meet you both.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell me why you wanted to buy this house.
To move out of home.
OK, that makes sense. A mutually agreeable scenario, was it?
It's fine, yes.
So currently you're living with mum and dad?
Mum and dad, yeah.
Yeah.
And sister.
How did this place come about in your mind? Was it something you saw in the catalogues, or how did you find it?
So I've been looking a little while because we wanted something to do up. So found this one in the catalogues, quite a good doer-upper, as it were.
Yeah, definitely.
So we decided to go for it, and it's in the right area for me for getting to work and for my horse.
OK, your horse.
Yes, my horse.
Brilliant. We'll talk about the horse in a bit. So the idea of daughter moving away from home, that was something you were encouraging, you helped in some way?
That's fine. Obviously, she wants to grow up, move out, and it's better that we can help her than she has to struggle. So we recently sold my father-in-law's property, and we've helped her with this.
Great. So it's bank of mum and dad then, is it?
A little bit.
Little bit.
But then they wanted another property to rent, and it means that we're renting off someone that's secure.
OK. So you're going to basically... No, you're going to rent this then?
Yeah, off of mum and dad.
OK, got it.
So that way it's still the responsibility, and then when I'm in a position later on, I can buy it off of them.
Yeah, ideal. In the meantime, you've got a little house you can do up.
Yeah.
Now, you say you were looking for somewhere to do up. Have you got experience in sort of doing up properties? Is that something you do in the family, or you do yourself, or what?
Just a little bit. It's
A little
not...
bit. The first cottage my husband and I bought had gas light, one cold water tap, and a toilet at the end of the yard.
Oh, wow.
So, and then the one we're in now, again, was a complete redo.
Right.
So it's not professional by any stretch of the imagination, but we will have professional builders that we've used before to do the extension and that sort of thing.
That sort of thing. So what was it about this house that you really liked?
It was in the right place. It's somewhere that I know is close to home if I need to go home for any reason. It's also close to the horse, and it's on my way into work.
Let's talk about the horse then. What have you got?
I've got a 16-2 Setter Francais.
Oh, wow. Yes. And what do you do with that? Do you event with it?
I do an event. I do a little bit of arena eventing that I've done in the last, well, just before Christmas.
Any good?
And yeah, we've been placed, so we're going to be going and doing a little bit more of that.
Great. But horses, a lot of work.
They are, yeah.
Early mornings.
I'm quite lucky, so the yard I'm at, I only have to go up and ride him and look after him when I need to. He gets mucked out and looked after the majority for me.
OK. On the way to work, what do you do?
Well, I am an estate agent.
Oh, great.
Actually,
OK.
Yeah.
But you didn't go for one that came in through your doors, you went to the auction?
No, I went to the auction, yeah, because this came up in the right area and it was within our budget.
Great. So what are you going to do to it? Turn it into your place?
Well, I have a lot of plans that I would like to do to it. It's whether I'll be allowed to do it.
By the planners or by
Mum and Dad?
Yeah, wow. How radical are they?
Well, I want to move this staircase so it comes up the side here, so it opens this up and lets a lot more light in through the living area.
Yep.
We will be putting an extension on the back to make the kitchen into a nice big kitchen.
Great.
And hopefully put like an ensuite upstairs, because that again increases value quite a lot. But yeah, it's whether I can move the stairs or not.
Can she?
It's how much it's going to cost. And I'm not telling you how much is available, because the more I tell you, the more she'll spend.
Oh, OK, so we can't talk about budgets. What would you like the budget to be?
Oh, as much as I can get.
Yeah, OK.
The budget is a closely guarded secret. Well, at least when Cassie is in the room. But Gemma told us later she hopes to keep it within 60 to 80,000. Their timescale is 9 to 12 months, but horse lover Cassie is chomping at the bit to get moved in.
Oh, baby, I'm leaving on a one-way ticket tonight.
I'd be quite happy to move in when a bedroom, the kitchen and a bathroom is done, and then work on bits as and when.
And if this works for you, then, is that something, I mean, you know, in an ideal position being an estate agent, is this something you might do again from an investment point of view?
Yeah, I would. If it goes well and it's something that I enjoy, then I'll definitely look into carrying it on and doing some more.
Brilliant. Well, listen, congratulations.
Brilliant.
Good luck with it.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing how you get on.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Cassie getting a really great place to live for her, thanks to the bank of Mum and Dad. Lots of work to do, but I like her ideas. How will it all turn out? You can find out later in the show.
Coming up, there's a lot for Jacqui to take in Harlesden.
I've got to get my head around this, but let's have a look around first.
And what issues were causing frustration in Cudham.
It really put everything back drastically.
We're back in Rugeley in Staffordshire, and this 3-bed mid-terrace that was guided at £44,000 to £49,000, looking more like a Swedish sauna than a house, with more wood than you could shake a stick at.
Well, certainly these people were fans of timber, because there's lots of timber cladding. I don't know what this is. Looks like something out of, I don't know, Fred Flintstone.
There was loads of it throughout the house, and a few extra quirks thrown in too.
Look at that. That's the first time I've seen that. There's a kitchen in the roof space there. So, the kitchen, that'll all have to come out. That's illegal.
The lucky buyer was Jack, part of a property developing trio, alongside Matt and Jim, who Tommy hoped weren't barking up the wrong tree with this place.
You're going to take all that cladding off?
Yeah, that's the plan. Take it all off. It's on the back of the house. Take it all off and show what's underneath it. Hopefully it's all OK.
Let's hope nothing else crawled out of the woodwork as we return 5 months later to see how they got on. There was a house underneath all that plastic. The living room is now polystyrene free and ready for relaxing in. Yabba dabba doo! The Fred Flintstone feature is no more, making way for a clean, modern dining room. And in the kitchen, the cladding is all gone, replaced with updated appliances, worktops and high-gloss cabinets. The bedrooms have been given a fresh white paint job. And that garish bathroom is now sleek and neutral, perfect for any buyer or renter. The loft bedroom has been beautified too, but Jack opted not to put in an ensuite. He has removed the bedroom kitchenette though.
We didn't know what we was going to find when we ripped off the wood cladding. We didn't know if it was going to be horrendous or half OK, but luckily it wasn't too bad. We've got rid of that and, yeah, everything's been done. So replastering, rewire, move the boiler, painting, carpet, flooring, whatever you can think of, we've pretty much covered it.
The original plan was to turn it into an HMO, but there's been a bit of a development since then.
We've got one of our builders working at our other developments, found himself needing a home to live in, so kind of struck up a deal where he would live here whilst doing the renovation, so it worked out really well. He's done a cracking job, and his daughter's here as well with him sometimes, so he's got a little room at the front for her. But yeah, he's done a really good job. It's worked out well for us and him. My role, I've kind of been just overseeing the project, making sure that things have got there on time, and then just obviously we've had our other developments as well, so we've kind of been all over the shop the last couple of months.
Their original budget was $20,000 to $25,000, but they've also foregone some big jobs like the upstairs ensuite. Has this helped them to avoid overspending?
We've stuck within that, to be honest. And the biggest part of that is obviously with Sam the builder doing the work whilst living around it. We've saved costs that way, but we've spent them in moving the boiler and doing rewiring here and there, making the kitchen better. So we've stuck to budget, but probably got more done than what we would have done initially.
It's time to ask a local estate agent to give us his views and valuations.
We've lost the downstairs toilet, but I don't think that's a massive problem in this price bracket. So I think the alteration in terms of the layout's perfect because it's got the bigger kitchen. So the biggest selling points of the property are the decor. White walls and grey carpets are all the rage at the minute, and the good-sized kitchen is also a big plus point, a big selling point for the property.
And what about the third bedroom in the loft?
So So the top floor loft conversion is a really good size, nice bit of extra space to the property. The only issue is that it can't be marketed as a bedroom because it's not been signed off by building control. The reason we know that is the fact that there's no door up to it. It's just an open staircase from the landing. That's a telltale sign that building control haven't been in to sign it off. And as a consequence, as an estate agent or letting agent, we can't market it as a physical bedroom.
Jack and his partners have spent around £110,000. So what sort of return could they be looking at if they put the house on the sales market?
There's a number of other properties locally that are quite similar to this that have been sold of late. So I think the market value of the property would be somewhere around £150,000.
To be honest, I don't think we would look to sell it. We picked it up at a very good price at auction. If anything, we would look to kind of refinance the property, pull out our initial investment, and then move on to another one and keep it in the portfolio.
That sales figure could give the trio a pre-tax profit of £40,000. But as they are leaning towards the rental market, what sort of figures are they looking at?
I think if this property was to come to the rental market, it would achieve around about £700 per calendar month.
Very nice. Yeah, to be fair, we were looking around 650. We're currently achieving 150 a week, but obviously that's with the deal with our builder. But yeah, it's really nice to know that we could get in the sevens for this, to be honest, yeah. Chuffed with that.
And Jack has every right to be, as that could give them a healthy yield of 7%. So what are their plans for the future?
We'll definitely continue to work together. Sam has done work for us on all of our developments. That's how we knew about this situation with him. Me and Matt, and there's another chap called Jim as well, we'll continue to work and find different properties and keep bringing older properties back to life. Personally, this experience with this property has been bliss. It's gone extremely well. It's gone all to plan. We're pretty much on target with our budgets, just over with our deadline. And obviously to hear the valuations are higher than what we expected makes it all even more worth it. So next for me is to focus solely at home on the family. So my little son is due next week. So just to be at home as much as possible. And again, property allows me to be at home. I can take a couple of months off, help my wife, because we've got two other little daughters as well. And yeah, just spend as much time at home as possible for the next couple of months.
Just a stone's throw from Wembley is Harlesden in northwest London, also known as the unofficial reggae capital of the UK.
I'm less than a 5-minute walk from Harlesden's vibrant high street on this attractive residential road of Victorian terraces. So it's no surprise that I'm here to see one of these. Now, with a guide price of £315,000, unfortunately, you don't get the entire building. It's the first and second floors, currently arranged as 2 separate flats. Now, from the outside, it doesn't look too bad. It could do with a bit of sprucing up with the windows there. I'll investigate that a little later. But on the whole, not too bad. Should we take a closer look? Actually, a nice, bright communal hallway. Love the fact that we've got the original Victorian features. So, up to the first floor. What have we got? Very sad-looking WC. And then down the corridor. Oh, you've got a bathroom there. Very old-fashioned. There's a boiler there. That needs to either be removed or checked. But then into a very bright kitchen come diner. There's enough space to have a dining table. You've got new double glazing, fairly modern, so that's a good sign, saving a few pounds. Imagine if everything was ripped out, a brand new kitchen put in, all modern, all fresh. This would make a wonderful kitchen diner. And then up a couple of stairs to this landing. So you've got a bedroom there, signs of damp, and lots of snail trail. What's that about? Oh, that's weird. It looks like that leads to the second flat. We'll investigate that a bit later. But look at this! Into this massive front room. Really big, loads of light coming through. You've got the bay windows there. You know I love a bay window. Sash windows. I would get them sorted, try and keep hold of them. You've got some original features, the cornicing, the ceiling rose, but then, of course, you've got the textured wallpaper, the carpets need to come up. But you know what? If you really put a bit of elbow grease into this, this would be an amazing room. The other thing I haven't seen so far is any central heating. In here, we've got 2 convector heatings there on the wall, so you need to sort out some central heating. Yes, it needs a bit of work, but it's good. So up the stairs into the second flat. Very strange. So you have to go through the first floor flat to gain access to the second floor flat. I've got to get my head around this, but let's have a look around first. So you've got a small kitchen there and actually quite modern, and certainly in comparison to the one downstairs. Through the hallway, not a bad sized bathroom, just needs modernising, but good enough. And then to the only other room. So this is more like a studio flat. So this room would be your living, your social, and your bedroom. But good features, double glazed, that's good. Decent size room. Bad features, I can see signs of severe damp just in the corner of the window there. No central heating, and then no boiler. So the only boiler I've seen is in the first floor flat. So that means that boiler is servicing both flats. So all very interesting, but what are your options? Well, you could keep this as 2 separate flats, but you'd have to consider access. Or the other option is to convert this into a split-level flat. That means you could create a 2 or a 3-bedroom flat. That would make it really lovely, spacious, and attractive to any renters or buyers. And the other good piece of news, the freeholder has already granted consent for this to be turned into 1 flat. That is a big tick.
We asked along a local estate agent to give us his opinions and valuations.
You can get it if you really want.
I think there's good demand for flats in this area as a sort of 2.5 bedroom split level apartment. But what I would say, there is a lot of housing stock in this area and on the market. So it's very important to make it in good order and with the sort of, bringing out the original features, because otherwise it can just be one of many that just sit on the market and don't really gather much interest. But demand is good, but I think it needs to stand out.
You succeed at last.
There are a few possibilities with the layout here, so what could the potential sales value be once renovated?
I would say as a 2.5 bedroom split level flat in good order with character features, this could achieve around £450,000 on the market. A 1-bedroom flat in this area could be anywhere from around £250,000 to £300,000.
And what do the rental figures look like, starting with the split-level 2 to 2.5 bedroom flat?
I think once renovated on the rental market, you could achieve around £1,700 per calendar month. A 1-bedroom flat in this area, I would say, will be typically between £1,200 to £1,300 per calendar month.
Well, this certainly is an interesting yet strangely bizarre auction lot. Currently arranged as 2 separate flats, I think it would be best if 2 flats became 1. So, who was up for the job? Let's find out as it went under the hammer.
This property was sold at an online auction.
Sold to the internet.
The successful bidder paying £354,000 was property developer Dolly. Jacqui met her at the property to find out her plans.
Well, Delafo, congratulations.
Thank you, Jacqui.
This is quite an undertaking, isn't it?
A little bit, a little bit. It's quite a fun property for sure.
Yeah, well, fun's one word. It's quite quirky is the other word, isn't it?
Yes, very quirky.
Had you visited this property before
Yes.
it went to auction?
I had, yes. As I walked in, I just had goosebumps because, you know, you can see the character, even though it has lots, you can tell there's a lot of history in here. But, you know, it has good character, and I just thought there's a lot you can do with this property. And the fact that it's also 2 properties in one, you know, it was really a good find.
Is this one to sell on, or is this one to rent?
Definitely to rent.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you going to keep it as 2, or are you going to let 2 become 1?
My preference, to be honest, is to turn it into 3-bed, 2-bath. So to be 3 beds with a study and a bath. The more financial option would be if we left it as it is, as 2, and found a way to retain it and make sure we isolate the flat going upstairs.
Let's talk about the 3.5-bed first. If it was all in one, where are you getting that space from?
I know.
How are you
You're
going to
thinking, where did I magic the... Yeah. Okay, so I could easily convert the kitchen at the back, move in the kitchen to the front of the property into this room here. This becomes an open plan living.
Yes.
The kitchen then becomes the new bedroom. There's a 2nd bedroom. That's how you create the 2 bedrooms here.
Yeah.
And now moving up to the 2nd floor, what would then happen, we would leave the bedroom at the back as it is, strip out the kitchen, turn that into a study, because those are increasingly more popular.
If you then split it as 2...
Yes. And if it was 2, still have the same 2-bed layout down here. We create a way to get into the study without going through this property. We have to block out the entire this property from the hallway. And then once we figured out how to do that, then we just retain it as a studio, as what it is now.
Who's going to do the work, first of all? Are you going to get your hands dirty? No, you're not, are you?
Well...
Go on.
Not really. Other than coming here to see what's going on.
Good,
no,
good.
Not really.
Yeah.
But, you know, that definitely once it's done, you know, hanging up nail pictures and, you know, things like that, definitely I do that. But I have a dedicated builder that I've worked with for so many years now.
Right.
And he pretty much knows the layout. He knows exactly what he needs to do. And so we play a good team in that, you know, he'll do the build and I'll order most of the materials. Typically, this type of project would take about, 2 to 3 months, depending on how quickly he's moving.
In the bedroom just next to here, there's bit of damp under the window. And in fact, in the kitchen, the back, on this floor, there's a bit of damp in the corner at the top there. Are you concerned about that at all?
Not really. With these traditionally older buildings, you tend to see quite a bit of damp. You know, sure, it could be anything from the roof, it could be just the guttering, actually, that's, you know, kind of leaking onto the walls. So those are the type of things that will be uncovered once the builder starts the work. As long as we fixed what the underlying root cause is, that's really what it's about, and it doesn't cost that much.
So what's your budget, and have you got, like, you know, contingency for X, Y, or Z?
Yes, I'm thinking somewhere between 35 and 40,000.
OK. Well, look, I wish you the best of luck with this one, and congratulations once again.
Thank you so much, Jacqui.
Thank you. There's still a lot of work to be done, but which way will she go? Will she turn this into one flat, or will she keep it as 2 separate flats? Well, you can find out later in the show.
Well, we've seen one, but don't go anywhere because we've still got to see how 2 property projects turned out. Will the champagne corks be popping?
Or will the fizz have gone out of everything? Let's wait no longer and find out.
Back to Cudham now, where I visited a 2-bed cottage with lots of little niggles.
So, no parking with this property, which is definitely a negative to start off with. No central heating, so that's definitely something you'd want to sort out. Lots of signs of some nasty stuff going on. That is, dry rot. So, a few negatives, but it's one of those houses you just almost want to take on and cuddle better.
Two ladies who were ready to wrap their arms around this one were mother and daughter, Gemma and Cassie. They scooped the place up for $244,000.
Tell me why you wanted to buy this house.
To move out of home.
OK, that makes sense. A mutually agreeable scenario, was it?
It's fine, yes.
So what are you going to do to it?
Well, I have a lot of plans that I would like to do to it. It's whether I'll be allowed to do it.
By the planners or by Mum and Dad? Oh, wow. How radical are they?
So what was Cassie allowed to do in the end? They'd hoped the work would take 9 to 12 months, but 3 years later... OK, so it looks like there may be a few jobs left to do. But new windows and the removal of the front door mean that the front living room is now a much cosier little snug. And the second reception room is looking extremely different, as it's been knocked through into an open-plan living kitchen area. The stairs have been moved, which creates space for a very handy downstairs WC. Here's a reminder of what the kitchen used to look like. With the new extension, it's looking great, and there's even space for a dining table.
Originally, this did have the kitchen in here, and it probably came to roughly about where I'm stood right now and was much narrower. And then beyond that, there was that downstairs bathroom. Whereas now we've got the full width of the property to make use of this kitchen area and a dining area with the bifold doors, so that in the summer months we can open it up and have a lovely sort of inside-outside feel for having people and friends over.
Upstairs, the bedrooms are like new. And if you think the second bedroom's looking a bit small, don't adjust your TV set. Some space has been pinched to create an upstairs shower room. New extension and the paved patio at the back of the property have improved the garden no end. And the side door to the house has now become the main entrance. 3 years and a lot has changed, but there are still a few jobs that need tying up.
So we have the front room left to decorate, as the fireplace only just went in the day before you guys have come over. We've also got some fixtures and fittings to put in, so we have wardrobes to go into the master bedroom. I don't think there's much more.
And the garden.
Oh, yes. And the garden.
The timescale went far beyond their initial plan. What was the issue there?
We had a lot of issues with planning permission, regulations and everything involving sort of the council and Bromley there.
After much back and forth with the local council, it was third time lucky for the family. But the process came at a cost, both of time and money, which unfortunately couldn't be avoided.
It delayed it by at least a year and a half. It really put everything back drastically.
What impact has this all had on their £60,000 to £80,000 budget?
It ended up going over budget. We've spent approximately £120,000.
I hope all those bumps in the road haven't dampened the experience for them.
I'm still glad that we've taken it on. It's been a challenge,
Yes.
but I'm really pleased with the way that it's turned out. I absolutely love it now. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to moving in.
At times it did feel as if we were taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back every now and again, but eventually we have managed to achieve what we wanted to.
And is the plan still for this to be a home for Cassie?
Yeah, so we are looking to move in the next few weeks, and it will be myself and my boyfriend Steve moving in, along with our dog Spud.
There have been a couple of new additions to the family since our first visit. Who do we have here?
So we have the 2 puppies. Your puppy is Yoda and mine is called Spud. They are brothers.
We've spent a lot of time, obviously, going to training classes and trying to make sure that they are well-behaved and brought-up puppies. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yes.
Back to see if the property is now best in show or a dog's dinner is the agent from our first visit. So, what does she think of the refurb?
I think the owners have done a superb renovation here. The cottage has been completely transformed, and they've managed to do that very clever thing, which is blending the old with the new.
What does she think of the layout changes?
I think the layout changes are spot on. I think extending to the rear, filling in the side return, moving the entrance door to the side has enabled the creation of a really on-trend, contemporary, open-plan layout. The sitting room has then become a cosy snug for the evening, and squeezing in the cloakroom downstairs, moving the main bathroom upstairs is entirely relevant to how we live now.
How would she value this property for the local market?
In the current market, I would say that this property would sell for in the region of £450,000.
A sale price of £450,000 would mean a pre-tax profit of £86,000.
Good grief. I wasn't expecting that.
Just a moment while we let Gemma come back down to earth.
Yeah, actually, I feel a lot more confident about what we've done because, of course, the whole time going through it with everything that had happened, trying to work out whether what we were doing was too much, too little, was sort of that question. So I now feel that we've done enough, but not too much.
Yes.
Does that figure sway the family's plans for the future of the property, or will it still be a home for Cassie?
Definitely be our home for maybe the next year or so, but potentially depends on what happens in the future where sort of move to and go to, but it does make it a little bit more enticing to potentially sell it in the future.
How do they both feel about the whole experience now?
Really, really thankful, couldn't be more thankful. It's given us the opportunity to get out of home into a property that is absolutely lovely.
And on my part, at least I know that she'll look after it.
It's time to head back to Harlesden in London to this mid-terrace building containing 2 flats. Although it wasn't that clear where one ended and the other began.
Oh, that's weird. It looks like that leads to the second flat. We'll investigate that a bit later.
I gotta find a way. I gotta find a way.
These 2 apartments were just a bit too close for comfort for Jacqui.
Very strange. So you have to go through the first floor flat to gain access to the second floor flat. I've got to get my head around this.
It is strange, or what some people do.
But the strange layout didn't put off Dolly, a property developer who paid £354,000 for the lot.
It's quite a fun property for sure.
Yeah, well, fun's one word. It's quite quirky. It's the other word, isn't it?
Yes, very quirky.
She planned to change up the strange layout by separating the 2 flats and creating a second bedroom within the first flat.
So I could easily convert the kitchen at the back, move in the kitchen to the front of the property into this room here. This becomes an open plan living.
Yes.
The kitchen then becomes the new bedroom. There's a second bedroom. That's how you create the 2 bedrooms here.
Yeah.
Dolly knew exactly what she wanted to do with this property. And with a budget of £35,000 to £40,000 and a timescale of 3 months, she was confident the project would be a success. So has she pulled it off? We're back 6 months later to find out. Dolly decided to keep the property as 2 separate flats. She successfully separated them by adding a partition wall and door, creating a new corridor on the first floor. And what's behind that new door? What was the kitchen is now a brand new second bedroom. And the old bathroom is now shiny and new. A new set of stairs have been built, so you can easily access the upstairs flat by sacrificing the WC that sat between the 2 apartments. And the old hotel for snails is now a lovely new bedroom for people. She fulfilled her plans to move the kitchen, creating an open-plan kitchen living area in what used to be the reception room. This flat looks great, however, the other flat isn't quite there yet. Dolly focused on getting the first flat finished and has only now started working on the second. So, how have the renovations gone so far?
So we had to strip everything back to bare. In fact, I have it on social media where we literally have a pan through the property where we stripped it to the sticks. So we got back to the bone and literally had to replaster and do everything. So new electrics, new plumbing, new boiler, new everything in the property. And also because of the way the walls were, there was no way to retain the walls. We had to strip all of that out to be able to get it back to a place where you could live in, because it was really uninhabitable at the time.
Well, all the hard work has been worth it, as it really does look amazing. But who carried out the work on the property?
So as far as the work goes, I've talked about my builder. We've been working together for quite a while and we work very well together. He does a lot of the heavy lifting, so he'll do the installation. He has his team. They'll come in and do all the different bits, the electrics, the plumbing. Typically, I do more of the design and more of the admin side of it. So in terms of the design, I will select all my cabinetry and all the fixtures in the bathroom because I am going for a look. So eventually, I'll put it all together and then he'll install it. So that's how we work together.
And if the flat is anything to go by, Dolly and her builder clearly make a great team. And it's plain to see that Dolly has gone the extra mile with the interior design. She's already surpassed her original timescale and anticipates it will be another 8 to 9 months before the second flat is finished. But how has she got on with her budget?
So in terms of budget, originally we had estimated 35,000 if we decided to keep it as one unit. But because we decided to split it, my builder came in at materials and labor at 50, and I still had to get the kitchen and the bathroom. So I thought it was decent.
Even though her budget has increased, Dolly seems to be happy with the end result. So will the extra spending and effort be worth it? To find out, we've asked along a local estate agent to hear his thoughts and valuations on this property.
My first impressions of the property is it offers quite a modern space. It's been finished to a good standard in very neutral tones. I think that the owners have done a great job with maximisation of space. If I was doing this project, I'd do it exactly the same way.
Dolly was hoping for some good returns, so what does the agent think the first flat could achieve on the sale and rental markets?
This flat on the open market would sell between £375,000 and £380,000. If we were to let the flat in the current market, it would let between £1,550 and £1,600 per calendar month.
He's spot on, because I got the space valued and it came in at 375.
And once the renovations are complete in the second flat, how much could it fetch?
The upstairs one-bedroom flat in the current market would sell between £290,000 and £300,000. If we were to let it in the current market, it would achieve between £1,100 and £1,200 per calendar month.
That sounds fair. It does.
Dolly sounds happy with that maximum yield of 8.3%, and she could be earning a pre-tax profit of up to £276,000. So is she still planning to rent, or have the figures changed her mind?
I'll stick with rental for now. Eventually, of course, there may be a point where I look to sell, but definitely happy to keep it as a rental for now.
So overall, how does Dolly feel about her latest project?
I'm really happy about the end result. The fact that there was a bit of confusion around whether to keep it as one unit or to keep it as two. It's gone very well. It's been a positive experience.
Property developing is not easy. The problems can be vast and they can be varied.
But the rewards can be rich if you get it right.
Yes, if you get it right.
So join us next time for more stories from the auctions here on Homes Under the Hammer.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.